there. Welcome to today's Breathe Break for your brain. We come together every Monday for a breathe break because it is very helpful for the brain if every 90 minutes throughout your day, you take 10 to come back to your heart, take a deep breath, clear your mind, stop working so hard on whatever it is you've been working on, and just relax and manage your brain, because your brain responds to activity as stress. And a certain amount of it is good. It gets it motivated and keeps the brain from being real complacent, grows the brain, literally grows brain cells. So a little bit of stimulation is good. And then sometimes we take it too far and we overstimulate and we get busy brain, what I call busy brain. And so breathe breaks are a way to manage that ebb and flow between not being stimulated enough, but also not overstimulating your brain into a stress mode, because that's what happens when the brain gets stressed or gets overstimulated. Then it perceives it just like it would any other stress. If you were sick, if you had an infection, if you were in a car accident, if you had an injury, the brain will respond to overstimulation exactly the same way and put out all the stress chemicals and go into fight or flight or freeze. And so a breathe break every 90 minutes is a way to manage that. So on Mondays, we come and do our breathe break together. If I'm just meeting you, I'm Leah Lund. I'm the creator of One Whole Health, and I want to welcome you. At One Whole Health, we help women change their brain and manage their emotions so they can master their mindset and live a fulfilling life and live a life in flow where you feel vibrant from the inside out, vibrant regardless of anything that's happening on the outside world. And so in today's breathe break, we're going to talk about one way to do this, one way to relax and calm the brain and to help you feel more vibrant. And that is by knowing that you are not your results. So this is a lesson it took me a lot of years to learn. And nothing, what I know for sure, and what you may feel, and I hear this all the time from women in our community, is how draining it is when you're trying really, really hard on something and you're still not getting the result that you wanted. When you're doing all the right things. And this could be if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to maybe reverse a condition or a disease, or maybe you're trying to find a new love relationship, or just get your children to listen to you, or stop arguing with your spouse, or manifest abundance, or accomplish something specific in your career, advance in your career, complete a project. It doesn't matter. Whenever you're trying to do something and you feel like you're putting in a ton of effort and you're doing all the right things and you're not getting the result, that can be very, very draining, and in fact, very frustrating and exhausting, and it can leave you feeling a little bit hopeless. Like, what else can I do? I'm doing everything I can and I'm not getting there. And one reason that I know from my past when I've felt that way, one reason that it's difficult is, I think, through all of those results, what we're often trying to do is just be happy, right? We're trying to achieve all these results that can make us happy, and it doesn't work like that. But I know how it feels. I know that struggle and that disappointment, and I know exactly what it's like. I spent years and years trying to be skinny enough and pretty enough and smart enough and cool enough, and I swam in an absolute tidal wave of perfectionism. Hi, Kathleen. Good to see you here. I swam in a tidal wave of perfectionism, just trying to really muscle my way into achieving expectations and results. And usually those expectations and results weren't even mine. They were the expectations that other people had of me, and they were the results that other people wanted of me. And I hid all that not being enough behind, really pretty, cool, fashionable clothes and makeup and even long blonde hair for a while, if you can imagine. That was when I lived in California. But when I wasn't achieving the results that I set out there, then I worked even harder and spent even more time trying to hide that fact, trying to hide all the imperfections and all the the failures, because that's what I perceived them. And I really thought if I just worked harder and longer, put in very, very long hours back then in the corporate world. If I worked harder and worked longer and pleased more people, then nobody was going to see what a failure I was. And I hit a point where I walked away from both my career and I walked away from a 13-year relationship because I thought that both of those two things were way too demanding on me, and that was the problem, and I was never going to be enough, and I was never going to accomplish enough or be good enough. So I just flat out quit. I quit it all and walked away. And it was during this real downward spiral that I learned one of the most important lessons I ever could have, in the lesson that I'm sharing with you today. I learned that my unhappiness was not coming from whether or not I could achieve a result. That was not driving my unhappiness. And it wasn't coming from what other people thought about me. My unhappiness was coming from what I thought it meant that I wasn't achieving these specific results. So again, it wasn't whether I achieved the result or not, and it wasn't what other people thought or what their expectations were. It was all internal. It was all what I thought it meant that I wasn't achieving certain results. And it's taken years of practice, and it's taken also reaching out for support and not lone wolfing it to make this lesson that I'm teaching today truly a way of living for me. So there's a couple of things that have hopefully stood out to you that you've taken away from what I've said so far. And that is that your stress, sometimes when you notice that you're feeling stressed or anxious about what you're getting done, or maybe how much you're not getting done, or how something turned out, there's really two issues. One is that you're being too focused on result. And the second one is that you're attaching a meaning to whether you get that result or not. And along with it is really a failure to love yourself for the effort. Love yourself for the fact that you are here and you are present and you are taking action, and loving and appreciating your way of being even more than how much you get done. So it's not the result, and it's not what other people think about you or the result. It's what you're making it mean that you're not achieving certain results. So the easiest shift that you can possibly make, the most direct shift is probably a better way to say that. It doesn't always feel easy, but the most direct shift that you can make that can keep your brain calm is not to focus on result. Shift to the present moment. Focus on what you are doing in the now. And be grateful for yourself. Grateful that you are here and you are taking action. You are doing things. You are putting in that effort. And then the results take care of themselves. Turn the result over to a higher power. You just keep your attention step by step, hour by hour, activity by activity, conversation by conversation, on the effort that you want to be putting in, and in particular, how you want to be when you're putting in that effort. So what I'm going to throw out to you today is a challenge to choose a way of being that you're going to focus on for the rest of this day. So you could choose something unrelated to a specific task at all, and you're still going to be doing your day-to-day things. So, obviously you're not going to just sit on a park bench outside in the glorious sun, even though that would be wonderful. That's, I'm sure, not what you're going to do today. But choose a way of being for the rest of the day, and let that be your practice. Let that be what you focus your attention on, regardless of what result it gets you. So you might choose that you're going to be generous, and maybe you find a way in every interaction with every person today to be generous. Generous of time, generous of word, compliment, advice. Could be generous of money, generous of sharing, just generous in any way. Or maybe you decide you are going to practice the way of being of just thinking first of the other person before you think of yourself. But whatever it is, choose a way of being over a to-do list. Make a to-be list and pick one that you're going to focus on the entire rest of the day. And then celebrate yourself. Come back to this post at the end of the day and share, here's how I chose to be today, and I am celebrating that here's what I did. Here's where I was generous, and share those examples. And whether it's one or whether it's 101, share them and be joyful that you were generous. And that is enough. That is more than enough. And the outcome will take care of itself, and the outcome, can be whatever it will be. Now, if you do want to focus your practice today on a specific project, then again, choose a way of being in regards to that specific project. So let's say you have to clean your house today. You've decided you really, really want to clean your house. You probably don't want to, but you've decided you are going to. Choose a way of being that you want to be in the practice of cleaning your house. Maybe it's grateful. Maybe everything that you pick up and put away, you want to be grateful. Or you want to acknowledge who was part of creating the fact that you even have whatever that item is. Or maybe you want to be very detailed. Or maybe you want to be very mindful. Or maybe you want to be very efficient and fast. But choose a way of being to apply to that certain project, like how you're going to clean up your house today. And again, no concern or thought about how much you get done, what it looks like in the end. Will the family be happy? Will anybody notice? It's setting aside all those things that are outcome based, because you are not your result. You are the appreciation of your own effort. You are not your result. You are the gratitude and appreciation for your own effort and for your way of being while you're making that effort. And this is truly a way to not only relax your brain as a breathe break, but a way to generate happiness from the inside. Because as Deepak Chopra says, I love his quote, happiness for a reason is just another form of misery. So happiness because you accomplished an end result is just another form of misery. Because maybe tomorrow you could put in the same exact effort and not get that result. So happiness for a reason is just another form of misery. And I also love from the Buddha, it is better to travel well than to arrive. So it's not about the end destination or the end result. You are not your result. And when you generate your own happiness from the inside like this, it helps you ride the waves, including that wave when you're trying and doing everything absolutely right and you still don't get the result you thought you would. If you're not focused on the result and you're not making whether or not you got the result mean anything, especially about you, then happiness can flow from the inside. So that's the practice today, and I really look forward to hearing about it and hearing what you're celebrating at the end of the day. And I also, this is a main reason that I created the Vibrant Woman. The Vibrant Woman, our doors are open for a little while yet, and it's really there to help women not only step out of their perfectionism and their people pleasing, but to step into your true, happy, vibrant flow. And that is physical, and that's mental, and that's emotional, and that's spiritual. So I teach you in the Vibrant Woman the 5-step brain makeover method that engages all aspects of you, because you are a multifaceted, amazing human spiritual being. But all facets of you, including knowing that you're not your result and practicing that you know you're not your result, so that you can feel your most fulfilled and enjoy your life the most. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and you are meant to feel good. So if you have questions and you'd like to know more about the Vibrant Woman, I've set aside time this week, and it's going to be first come, first serve, but there's a link below this video, I'll post it right when we're done, that you can get on the phone and have a breakthrough conversation with me. It's no strings attached. It's a time for you to ask more questions about the Vibrant Woman and about what is possible, and you'll walk away with at least one strategy that you can start applying right away. So first come, first serve, and the link is below this video. And I will check back at the end of the day, because I want to hear what you're celebrating, not results oriented at all, what you're celebrating about the effort that you've put in today and your way of being. Have a great day. Make it a great day.